Hey everyone, welcome back to the Love and Marriage Podcast. I am your host, Wendy O. This is my co-host, Hotep Jesus. We are streaming on his YouTube channel. Please make sure to like, drop us a comment, subscribe. That helps trigger that YouTube algorithm. How you doing tonight, Hotep?
Oh man, exhausted, tired, long day. How's everything
Okay.
with you?
Oh, I got some tea, got lots of tea. But before we get into my tea, because we know this is my show.
Of course it is, darling.
So before we get into my tea, you were telling me something exciting happened.
Yes. Thaddeus Russell, one of the leading professors, thought leaders on African American history, has launched a new product that I'll be a student of.
Ooh.
Yeah. The boast about this is the fact that it's basically a four classes on Tuesday nights. I believe they start at 8 something Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure. Link is in the description box below. You'll see Renegade University, become an authority on African American history. But yeah, the boast here is the fact that after this course, you'll be able to destroy any Harvard University professor on the topic of African American history, which is huge because they try to like control those conversations. They try to tell us, about black people and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward.
I'm excited. He seems like a very just cool person, very intelligent, very humble, just a good dude from the stuff I've seen.
Yeah, Thaddeus is the man. He's truly the man, and it's an honor to be able to do that. I don't have much to do on Tuesday nights, so I was going to stream during those nights, but this is definitely going to take precedence. So if anybody's interested in joining us in that class, the link is in the description box below. Go ahead, hit that, and sign up right now because that thing's going to start soon.
Question about that. What is the difference between taking his course on African American history and just going to your local college and taking a course on African American history there? Because they've got classes. You can go to any college university. You can pay like $10,000 to take a class on like Chicano studies or women's studies or all that stuff. So I'm just curious the difference in your opinion.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. It's an excellent question. Number one, this course is only $125, which is probably like a quarter of a credit at one of these liberal universities. The other reason is the liberal university is going to give you some watered down BS socialist humanities point of view on African American history, whereas you're getting this point of view not only from him but from another actual black professor, Kamasi Hill, who is a historian, theologian, educator, art curator, and filmmaker right out of Detroit, Michigan. And you're going to get the real for real. You're going to get it from somebody who actually understands black people, somebody who actually has black friends, and not this professor who has these cucked black friends or these liberal, socialist, progressive, who are going to beat you over the head with some Martin Luther King nonsense. You're going to get, it's basically like the Hotep version of African American history.
Okay, I can get behind that. I wish a lot of other cultures did that, because where I come from, I'm mixed with so many different things that our culture often gets lost in what happened, especially with the Jewish culture. You see that because people assume that Jews are just Jews. They don't understand that there's German Jews, Romanian Jews, Black Jews, Italian Jews. Jews are everywhere, and people, they don't get that, and they just associate it with what's going on in modern day with Palestine and with Israel, or they'll talk about Hitler and stuff like that, and they have no idea what then the actual origin of Jews, where we come from. Same with Italians. A lot of people in the United States, they when they hear that you're Sicilian, they're like, "Oh, you're mob. You got family in the mob." Well, that may or may not be true, but that's not all that happened with Italian families and, the gypsies, and with Latinos, the same thing. So I'm glad that he's taking that initiative and doing that. It sounds exciting.
Hell yeah. Yeah. This is going to be really, really dope. So people who don't want to pay, the big nut for the entire Renegade University, which I'm also a student of, can come in, take these 4 classes, and you'll be able to destroy any liberal on social media or wherever else that tries to tell you about Black people.
It always seems to be the liberals, the white liberals that come from ivory towers that try to educate specific groups on their culture. And my husband and I, we talk about that because we think it's funny because, you know, he's part Mexican, and he's actually had his ass whooped by a police officer quite a few times.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So we talk about that, and he laughs. I go, I bet you these people that are crying and complaining, you know, about police brutality, if they've never been on the side of a curb and, you know, have had any type of violence happen to them, because the type of people he knows that have seen that type of stuff, they actually are very red pilled and they support police. Right.
Real talk. Shout out to Jelani, $10 super chat. He said, Grifton season. Oh yeah, it's here, baby. And Wendy O, you got a little fan in the chat there. He said, this chick fine, bro.
Oh, love to hear it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Please don't gas her up. She already thinks she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you something. I went a very long time not thinking that. And I was actually thinking about that earlier. And now I take a step back and I'm like, you know what? You're a bad bitch.
You know what? I'd much rather that than to think low of yourself. Self-esteem is so important these days, and it's missing with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. It is. So what do you want to hear? Oh, my daughter comes in my office like every day last week. She goes, are you talking to Hotep? Because I need to see him. I need to say hi to him.
Let's go. Tell her I said what's up. I love her so much.
I will. She's just a sweet girl. My kid. So we went to a party over the weekend for my husband's best friend's son. I think he turned 20 or something like that. So we go to this party and my daughter's like, oh my God, is there going to be kids? Because the last time she saw these people, she played with their friends' adopted kids, and they had a great time at Chuck E. Cheese, but those kids weren't there. So some other kids, they're all boys that were there, young boys, like 5, 7, 9, or 3, 5, 3, 7, 9, and like 15 or whatever. So they were all playing with them. My daughter is so confident, and she just runs up and she just was telling them what to do, taking the ball from them, bossing them. When they tried to take the ball from her, she went and she sat in the corner and she just went like this. She knows how to work it. But most importantly, I'm just happy that little girl has confidence and she's comfortable in her skin, because regardless if you've got a boy or a girl, I think it's important for your kids to feel comfortable in their skin and that they've got power and they have say. And that's on raising confident kids.
She's a boss. I love it. Mm-hmm.
She is.
Yeah.
So
Hotep Tiger said, here's some shekels from your friendly neighborhood Hotep. Appreciate you, Hotep Tiger, holding us down.
How's the fiance doing?
Great. She's she looks like she's ready to pop any second now. But yeah, everything's going great. She's feeling well, and we're excited to expect a new one.
I'm starting to get baby fever.
Are you?
I'm starting to get baby fever. Like, there's some people that are having kids. It's just, I'm looking at my daughter. She's getting so big. And I'm like, oh my God, should I have another baby? I don't want another baby, because then I got to do the whole nursing thing again. But kids are just a beautiful thing. They make the world go round.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have another one. Just do it.
Good. I mean, financially it would be fine, but I don't know. We got all this crazy stuff going on, and then I can't do boxing if I get pregnant. Well, I can to a certain extent, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. You could probably do boxing, because it's a little bit of training. You could probably do that up until like 6-7 months, but yeah, go ahead. Get another one in the oven, man. Get another one in there.
He's going to be running in the room, be like, we got to go.
I was reading Michael Malice's book, and I was about to tell a joke from his book, but I don't know if it'd be appropriate.
Go for it.
Put another Jew in the oven. That was in his book.
You know what? The thing is, this is the thing with Jews. A lot of people don't understand is we can take jokes and we can have fun. Like a lot of stuff doesn't bother us. My grandma, oh my God, you would have loved her because she was so sassy. The woman wore heels until she was 80 years old. She dressed in very nice clothes. Okay. She wore gold, it was very gaudy, but she was just the most loving person. She actually, back, I want to say after World War II, maybe it was after World War II, I don't know, but it was when everybody was really, really poor. She had a job at Winchell's Donuts. Mm-hmm. And that's when a lot of kids weren't eating a lot. So she would let the neighborhood kids come in and she would give them donuts. And she would tell her boss, they don't have money for food. I'm giving them donuts. They need to eat.
She's a woman of the people.
She was. Also, too, I want to tell you, big congrats for you got Kirstie Alley to follow you. Is that who it was?
Yeah. Kirstie Alley. Okay. Yes. Kirstie Alley is now following me on Twitter. I hope to connect with her soon and do an interview on her channel. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. I mean, I had a crush on her like way back in the day. It was just like, oh damn, she's just so hot. So, it's like a childhood, a boyhood dream come true.
We're going to manifest that for you. We're manifesting that. The Hoteps are manifesting that. But the funniest thing about that is because when we had Peter on last week, he was name dropping and you're like, I had a crush on her. And it's all people from the 90s. And then I see that she had followed you and I was like, oh my God.
Another one. Yeah.
I was like, another one.
He gonna have to try and keep up with me now.
Let's do a little bit of a recap. What were your thoughts? I want to hear.
I thought he was an amazing individual, a successful individual, and someone you can look to for inspiration. I mean, the women he dated was all hot. I mean, even his ex-wife, I just typed in, his name and then ex-wife. And I was like, oh, wow, this is the black chick, like if she was trying to divorce me, I'd be like, baby, please, no, don't go. Please, baby, no. Because she fine as hell, But yeah, I think that says a lot about who he is as a man to be pulling these hot chicks. So kudos to him, man. Really, really fun guest. Really, really cool guy. I can't wait to meet him when I go out to Vegas.
So me and the husband, because he was watching it and he's like, because he's very good at reading people. He could have worked for behavior analysis for FBI or something. Very good read on people. He goes, you know what? He goes, there was a certain point in that interview when Hotep just thought like, who the hell did Wendy bring on? Who's this guy? Yes. And then he said, the moment he was talking about NWA and he started calling them by their first names, then that's when you got intrigued. You're like, okay, this guy fucks. Yeah. And then you started Googling and then you're like, okay.
Yeah. I noticed that myself. After it was all over, I'm like, I wasn't into that until like a certain point. I'm glad he picked up on that because it wasn't necessarily that I was like, who the hell did she bring on here? It was more like my interest wasn't peaked yet, right? Like, I was just like listening to the conversation and trying to understand this guy and, who he was. And when you told me last week that we're going to have somebody on who dated, what's the name? And then we had him on. I had totally forgot you DM'd me that. I didn't Google him beforehand. I'm just like, it's Wendy O. She always brings cool people. I don't need to look this shit up. Like I trust her, right? Because you're batting 1,000%, right? You're batting 1,000 right now. So, I it was foolish me, didn't look him up before the thing, but then I think it was the Anna Nicole Smith at that point when he said Anna Nicole Smith. I think I popped up more. It might have been the NWA thing. I'm not sure, but and then the Busta Rhymes thing, and I'm just like, wait, hold up, who is this dude? Wait a second, I need to be paying attention. But I'm glad he caught that. That is so true.
Yeah, no, it was good. And I actually there was a couple things I was able to pull to post because I like to post the clips of us. But a lot of that conversation, it was very hard for me to post because there are certain things that were coming out your mouth. And I'm like, oh my God, if I just posted this without people hearing the whole conversation, it would sound so bad.
That's the best shit to post. If you ever get the feeling like I shouldn't post this, then you probably should post it. That's in my Twitter book.
Okay, well, you know what? If I go back and I pull something, I'm gonna send it to you to get approval.
Send it to me first. Send it to me first.
Because there was a couple things I was like, oh my god, and I'm laughing. It's because I do these on Saturday mornings, and I'm laughing, and my husband goes, "Are you editing Hotep?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "Okay, that makes sense. Have fun."
And you know, I gotta say, I couldn't ask for a better co-host, because who else is gonna be sitting down clipping shit on a Saturday? It's just dedication. I fucking love it.
It's honestly because we have really great conversations, and then I forget because things come up, we get busy, and then I like to sit back and I like to pull the good stuff because we speak on we talk about really great stuff, but then there's some things that you say, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I have no filter. Sometimes I try to have one, but it sometimes it just doesn't work.
Well, I'll tell you, I was sitting on Thursday and I had to edit, I had to do something. And then I noticed that you and Uncle Hotep were streaming. I was like, I'm going to pop in, I'm going to check this out. And I think you guys were talking about Ice Cube or something. And I pop in and you are screaming at the top of your lungs. And I was like, oh my God, I am glad I'm not his child. I could only imagine when his kids get in trouble. I was like, oh my God. And then in the chat, I was like, what the hell are they talking about? And then someone's like, he's going hard to get Ice Cube on the show. He's going hard. And I just died. And I was like, but you were going off. I was like, okay, I gotta go. This is scaring me.
Yeah, I coach kids soccer too. So the other day we were in soccer practice. And I forget what happened, but I got an Indian kid on the team, and I yelled his name, and the kid jumped up. He was like, "Oh!" And I had to kind of catch myself, like, "Damn, I scared him." But yeah, you know, soccer games, practice, you can hear me 2 fields over. My voice projects.
Well, you and baby daddy are the same, because when he used to coach baseball for his oldest son, he was the same way. He'd be screaming and yelling. They were little too. They were like 7 and 8 and 9, and he was just like getting after it. But that's a pretty alpha thing, I think. So I was going to say something, but so I went to the grocery store today. You're going to laugh. And then we got some crypto tea to kind of discuss, because it is very on brand for 2020. It is the biggest shit show I have ever witnessed. I'm staying out of it, but I need to speak on it because anyways, I was at the grocery store today and there was a guy, the meat guy behind the counter, the meat guy, and I was ordering some chicken thighs because I'm going to do something in the air fryer. He was really nice. He's being very polite. I was talking to him and I was like, and I asked him how he was doing. He's like, thank you for asking me how I was doing. A lot of people don't ask me that. And I was like, da-da-da. And then, so I ordered the chicken wings. He goes, oh, so you're just going to make chicken wings like that with no seasoning on it? And I was like, and I looked at him and I was like, don't you start with me, not you too. And he didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, I'm just kidding. But I didn't want to go into the whole thing. I'm on this podcast with this gentleman and he gives me shit for not seasoning my food. I seasoned it, but it's more like, are you familiar with prison spreads?
No.
Okay. So prison
spreads. Is this for like prison food?
Yeah. So prison food, what they do is they don't got a lot of seasoning in there. So they mix all this stuff together. We're in the process of moving. So half my spices are put away. So I had to get some garlic salt, some pepper, some garlic, some chives, and some sweet and sour sauce. And it's in a bag and it's being marinated because that's all I have.
Wendy O went from making chicken and beans to prison food. Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's some spread. All right.
When I come out to Cali and we do dinner, we're going out to dinner.
I'm going to tell my mom you said that because she'll probably want you and your family to come to her house and she'll want to cook Italian food. And
I'm eating Mama's food, just not Wendy O.
That's fine.
Mama Wendy could definitely, I'm going to let her throw down.
Oh my God, my mom, she's a riot. All right, so you ready to hear the crypto drama that happened?
Wait a second, let me just read this last super chat. We'll go into that. Dimazaja Halima, what's up? Shout out to Afrobiz. She said Napoleon Bonaparte was quoted to say, women are birthing machines. Mm-hmm. So what happened in the crypto world?
All right, so I sent you part of the story. I didn't send you the whole one because I didn't want to burn your eyes with it because you would just, I didn't want you to block me, okay? I didn't want you to block me. So there's this girl that popped up out of nowhere. And she, out of nowhere, apparently she listened to Anthony Pompliano's podcast. He's a very predominant crypto Bitcoin person. And she said that she got inspired. So she posted a video maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's her belly dancing, but it's not even like good belly dancing or dancing. Like, it's very bizarre, the whole thing. And it's very poorly produced. And of course, all the boys loved it because they're incels, they're beta cucks. They're not getting pussy. So there's like, oh my God, this is great. Da, da, da. And I'm like, something is not right here. There was just something really creepy, really weird, very bizarre about it. I got the creep vibes. So, okay, fine. And then she goes on this predominant crypto person. He's got this little podcast, whatever. He likes to troll people. And just something seemed wrong. So later on that week, she starts posting stuff on her. And I had DM'd her. I was like, hey, because a lot of people are trolling her. It got like 500,000 views or something like that. A lot of people are trolling her. I was like, if you need something, reach out to me. I understand what it feels like to be trolled. And I got a very generic response back. Like, oh, thanks so much. I will. I'm like, okay, this is weird because I know for a fact I get trolled a lot. And it used to bother me when I first started. Now, not so much because I'm used to these idiots. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't care who you are, if you get trolled online and you see this on TikTok, it hurts you. You see these people on TikTok, they go viral. They're just regular people. They get 1 million views and then they make videos crying. They're like, oh my God, this hurt me. You guys are bullying me. So there was no emotion. I'm like, okay, something's off here. So then I start seeing tweets on her page from this referencing this gentleman. And I'm like, okay. She's referencing this older man. Mm-hmm. Then she makes another video about this guy from crypto, about his tongue, and it's her first and all kinds. It's really weird shit. It's the same crappy production. Okay. So I'm like, okay, something's going on. So the Anons on Twitter, they start doing some digging into this girl and who she is and what's going on. So they find out that this man, his name is, I'm not even going to say his name because he's disgusting. I think he's disgusting. That he has had a past of taking photos of underage girls and posting it on his YouTube channel. He's got videos of her and all these other girls hula hoop dancing. And there's some very like softcore pornish stuff on his YouTube channel of her, this young girl that's like 20 years old, cleaning his house without a bra on, in overalls, talking, and in the description, oh, this is how I like to clean. I like to clean without a bra on. Do you think my breast will fall out? Like really weird shit. And I'm like, okay, this is fucking weird. So these guys they did further digging, and then they found out that he's kind of like, it looks like he's a freaking groomer, to be honest. So a lot of people were upset. A lot of people were really mad, and a lot of people were retweeting it. So of course it gets attention. But then I started talking to one of my friends privately, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And like, is this okay? Should we do something? Like, is this like what's going on? But come to find out, this girl, she's okay. She knows what's going on. She's okay with it. And she wants, and she's happy with this guy. She thinks that he's helping her. She doesn't live with him. She lives with her mom. She's from South America. Mm-hmm. There's no father involved because you can see all her public Instagram stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's just a very weird situation. And then
no, go ahead, finish.
Oh, and then I had mentioned it to some people in crypto, and they thought I was overreacting because I'm into that whole trafficking thing, because I'm doing stuff in the domestic violence shelter. And a lot of people don't understand domestic violence is not just when somebody is hitting somebody else. It's okay. There's other things involved. So I've had men try to do weird shit to me when I was younger. So there's something off with this. But apparently she's with it. She just wants to be famous.
Okay. How is this crypto girl connected to this guy?
She went to a hula hoop thing where he films because he's a professional photographer. Okay. And he basically goes up to girls, gives him the card, is like, oh, can I take professional photos with you? And then he helps them become something. I guess he helped some girl start OnlyFans and do something. It's very bizarre.
Wait, so this guy is assisting people in doing OnlyFans. He's creating lewd content for this crypto girl, right?
Yeah.
And he's taking pictures of underage girls.
Yes.
Wow.
And the thing that's pissing me off is that there's some people that are co-signing this bullshit and they're playing into it, and they've got kids. They've got young kids. What you mean co-signing it? Like saying it's cool? That they're interacting with this account because it's a man that's running her account. It's not her.
Oh, so this girl is not even running the account. It's a guy running it.
It's a guy running the account.
So he's taking content of her. He's creating content of her and posting as if he's her.
Yes. But then he has her go
Does
do the
she
interviews
know?
and yeah, she knows.
Okay,
She's
she
with it.
knows. So,
Yeah.
so he's like her manager slash pimp, I guess.
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow. And she's in crypto?
That's the thing. I don't think she was in crypto. I think because her handle is not a crypto handle, I think that this guy was in crypto and saw an opportunity because there's other girls. And we're going to talk about this after because I got to spill.
Grifting season.
He is grifting season. I got to spill the tea on this shit too, because there's other girls that are in crypto that actually have dudes running their accounts for them, or there's men that are posing as girls so they can do sponsorships and different things like that to make money. So basically what he's doing, he can't get famous in crypto. So he's got this young girl. He's like 60 or 50. He's old. Wow. So he's got this young girl posing, doing all this stuff. She says that she's with it. She's okay with it. But I've got mixed feelings on that because I lived in Hollywood. I know the type of shit that went down. And I was talking to my friend on the phone earlier today. When I used to go to the clubs and do stuff, we would go like every Monday and Wednesday night. And there would be the same type of people. They're generally older men. And what they would do, they would be really nice to you. They would buy you drinks. Then once they got comfortable with you, they'd be like, oh, here's my card. Do you want to come to my house and take pictures? Do you want to come to my house and do some soft porn? Or do you want to do this? Da, 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 da. It's a very common thing that happens in Hollywood. And a lot of these girls, they get, they drink too much and they end up doing it and their stuff gets posted everywhere. And then it starts really small and then it escalates into a lot bigger things because I know girls that has happened to. So I see what's going on from a mile away. I'm just kind of staying out of it at this point because she's of age, but it's still kind of upsetting to me that other people want to complain and they want to bitch about trafficking. They want to bitch about all these creeps that are being out there. But at the same time too, you're kind of supporting this type of behavior and letting people know that it's okay.
Yeah. That's wild. That's really wild. I want to speak to the point about men controlling women's accounts. There's a lot of women out there that suck at managing their profiles, managing their careers. I know a guy who I'm close with that has paid somebody else to tweet for him, and so that's common. It's just weird when that's happening and that same guy is taking pictures of young girls in high school cheerleading and then posting on the internet. That's like when you see those two connected, that's a red flag, and I think they should put some sort of investigation into this.
Well, that's what we were thinking of doing. But at the same time, like she's overage. But what he said in the article, because I read the article because they questioned him about it. And he said, oh, well, they were asking for it because they were wearing, this type of stuff. Well, cheerleading outfits, traditionally, the girls wear those short thing. It's not underwear, but it's like underwear cover because they're doing the flips and stuff, the skirts. It's just tradition. It is what it is.
Cheerleading, I've said this forever. Cheerleading is grooming.
Is it?
When you put a little girl, like my daughter was never allowed to cheerlead. She said she wanted to cheerlead. I said, no, you're not going to be a cheerleader. I refuse. Because you take these little girls and you put these little skimpy skirts on them. I understand you got bloomers under there and all of that. That is a pipeline to pedophilia. That is a pipeline to OnlyFans in so many ways. I don't agree with young girls. I think the cheerleading uniform needs an overhaul to something that's a bit more respectful. I feel like they need to move to something that is like pants and a shirt.
Well, the same thing could go with the pant and shirts, because if you could wear tight leggings and you can wear like a crop top or something, because it has
crop
to.
Tops.
The stuff does have to be form fitting though, because
you put them in some. I don't know what it is, right? I'm not a woman. I don't know women's fashion, but those outfits are not cool at all.
What about the girls that do gymnastics?
You see that too, where sometimes the coaches are caught molesting the girls, right? I I can't speak to the gymnastics because I'm not in that culture. I don't understand it, and I don't know what women are thinking. But I don't know. I don't know. I they're basically wearing swimsuits, right? In gymnastics, right?
Right.
So I don't know what's appropriate and what's inappropriate, as far as that's concerned. But it's something I'd have to think about. I don't know, but I think they could do. I think gymnastics could do better too with some sort of short set, right?
What about women's volleyball?
Oh yeah, because they wear like those little skimpy shorts and the little booty shorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, women's is different from girls, right? But I think if the girls are wearing the same stuff as the women's, I think the same thing. I think they need to be wearing pants.
See, I agree to an extent because I know when I box, it is most comfortable for me. I have to wear tight fitting stuff. I've tried to box and go to the gym because I know that there's boys and there's, like teenage boys and stuff at the gym. So I'm conscious of that when I go, but I tried to wear, I will not wear a sports bra. I will wear short shorts. Or I will wear leggings because I need to be able to move around because if I got something pulling me, and it's not me being sexual, it's me. I'm going there to sweat with my trainer.
Right.
I don't wear a sports bra. I wear one of those sports bra tops that cover my midriff, but I tried to wear a t-shirt.
Okay.
Over that stuff. And I even tied it up and it still got in the way.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing is that I understand when you're competing and you're working really hard at something, you need to have very form-fitted attire so it doesn't get in the way. So that's my only thing.
Yeah, that's true. Even with myself, I have to wear like particular underwear because my junk can't be just moving all around. It gets really uncomfortable, so I need my junk to be like, held in place, so I can understand that. I wear leggings sometimes, with shorts over it, of course. I ain't walking out here looking like a girl, but I totally get that, right? Like you can't wear certain things for certain type of sports. And that's why I say I can't speak to the gymnastics thing because I don't know, I've never done gymnastics. I don't know how restricted you would be in certain outfits, right? And I'm sure there could be some restriction doing those backflips and splits and all of that stuff. I can understand why you would need something that has less restriction. But cheerleading, I think is clearly a path to pedophilia.
With the cheerleading thing, the thing that only disagreement I have is that I'm very into nostalgia and I'm very into if there's a specific uniform that's been worn for a specific period of time, I like to stick with that. Like, for example, when I watch baseball, I tend to like the baseball players that have the traditional style pants with their socks pulled up because when they have the socks pulled, you can see the socks because it reminds me of the Babe Ruth era, reminds me of it. It's very nostalgic. Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm not looking at it as a sexual way, but then if I take myself out of the situation, I'm like, okay, this is kind of, that's kind of too much skin. Then I can kind of reevaluate it. But yeah, that when a man says she asked for it or they asked for it, that's a problem. That tells me what type of person.
In what context are they talking about?
Well, in the article, he said I was taking pictures of the girls and it's okay because they're dressing like that and they're basically asking for attention. That's what he said. He said something in the context of she asked for it. And if a man is ever accused of doing something indecent and his response is she asked for it, that's a problem. There's all different. There's different ways to say, this happened or this happened. But when you say she asked for it, what kind of answer is that?
Yeah, I think that even if a woman asks for it, doesn't mean you have to oblige.
See?
I think you still have to be responsible. You still have to be respectful of the woman and the potential harm and danger, and how you portray her image online. I think you should have responsibility over, I would never like want to be taking pictures of young girls. I remember, when I was, back in the day, man, this was like early 2000s. I want to say it was the year 2000. I might've been 20. or 19 or something like that. And my girlfriend, my cousin actually hooked me up with her friend, and she was 18, and she showed me some pictures of when she was modeling. And I never thought about this until recently. But some of the pictures were taken by her friend's dad when she was 17. And she was in like a scarf and a bra, so you can kind of like see the bra, and then like a skirt. And thinking back now, I'm like, was that okay? Was that cool? Like, if I was a photographer and you ain't 18, I'm like, yo, put some clothes on. You ain't about to, I'm not about taking pictures of no 17-year-old no bra.
That is evidence. That's evidence. that is you can use that in court.
Yeah, I thought, thinking back, I don't think the guy meant anything by it. Maybe he did. Maybe he might have been whacking off to these pictures. Who knows, right? But thinking back, I'm like, yo, she was underage, bro. Like when you took them pictures. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, my thing is that I've always been different, and I've always been a free thinker, and I've always spoken my mind. And I've always taken a lot of shit from it. So that's why I appreciate coming on this show, because I could chop it up with you like a homie and just, say X, Y, and Z. And there's no bad blood. There's not like, oh, I don't like her. Da, 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 da. It's like we're talking like adults. But if I was to have this conversation with somebody else, they're going to do some passive aggressive shit to me, and they're going to talk bad about me behind my back. And it's just like, come on, like I'm entitled to my opinion. And obviously if I'm speaking this way, I feel very passionate about it. I'm not just speaking about it for X, Y, and Z. There's actually a problem.
Right. Yeah. Shit's crazy. But yeah, me and you are cool. Like we get along, and I could bust your chops, you could bust my chops. I've always been that type of person where, I'm just like, you can say whatever to me and I'm usually not offended. Like, oh, okay, that's an interesting point of view. I like criticism, I enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a very upsetting story to me that happened, because I'm just like, I'm looking at all these people. And I'm like, you guys have some of these people that are like interacting with that account. I was like, you guys have kids. You guys got little girls. Could you imagine if somebody walks up to your little girl, whether she's 16 or 7 years old, and is like, can I take a picture of you? It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're not taking a picture of my kid. Like if somebody walks up to my daughter, we're out, even a woman, they say, can I take a picture of you? And I get a vibe. I'm putting hands on you. When it comes to my child, that's
Yeah, I know Wendy O about to put the paws on your ass quick. She quick with him, boy.
When it comes to the babies, and even my stepkids, even they were like, I remember me and my stepson, he was 16 at the time. I was, in my mid 20s or whatever the hell. We went to there's two situations. One of them, we went to 7-Eleven. He wanted to get a Slurpee. So I went in with him because it was not a nice part of town. And this homeless guy came up and started talking to him. So I stood in front and I says, Addison, I says, you're not talking to this guy. He's like, well, he asked me for money. I says, go where you're supposed to go. Like, even though he was like way bigger than me, he's 16, he could probably toss my ass, but it's still my responsibility as a parent, even though I'm the stepmom, to protect my kids. And that's my job. My number one job is to keep my kids safe. Facts.
Big fact. I was thinking about that movie with I think it was Samuel Jackson, I want to say, and his daughter was raped, and then he went and shot him, and he had to go to court for it. You remember that movie?
Which I do. He's such a good actor, though.
Yeah, hold on, let me find it. Samuel Jackson movies. I want to say it was Samuel Jackson. A Time to Kill. That's what it's called. A Time to Kill. Came out in 1996. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was driving home today, and I forget why, but I was just thinking, like, man, if somebody did some shit to my daughter, I'd be on some Time to Kill shit.
Well, there's a lot of people on TikTok that because of all this trafficking stuff that's going on, a lot of people, they're going on Megan's Law. They're finding out who has done what in their neighborhood, and they're giving those people hell. A lot of them are getting attacked. A lot of them are promoting violence against those types of people in their neighborhood because they don't want those people around their kids. And you know what? I don't blame them. And one of the things my husband does is anytime we've ever had to move or we have to go to a neighborhood, he's on that app and he's looking just to make sure there's no weird shit going on, because he likes to have control of his surroundings. When we go into restaurants, he has to sit in a specific place because he has to see where the door is and where all the exits and all that type of stuff. I don't know if it's post-traumatic stress from him being a mess on the streets, but he's he's got to know where his stuff is, because his job is to protect his family.
Mm-hmm. Real talk.
So, what do you know what happened with Rudy Giuliani?
Rudy Giuliani. Yeah. I think some scene in Borat, a new Borat movie. First of all, let's back up. What had happened was Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, New York Post was suspended from Twitter. I think they got maybe 5 or 6 days left on their suspension, allegedly because they said hacked devices, and hacked information can't be published on their platform or something like that. But the device wasn't hacked. The information wasn't hacked. Crackhead Hunter left his laptop at the computer repair shop, and that's how this information was found. And just yesterday, Rudy Giuliani handed the laptop over to the authorities in Delaware. I believe it's in possession of the FBI. And on that laptop were messages between Hunter Biden and underage girls, as well as pictures of underage girls were on his laptop. And lo and behold, today, Rudy Giuliani came under fire for some scene in this Borat movie, right? I didn't look at the specifics. I just know it was a hoax created by some kid who created some fake text messages between Rudy Giuliani and this woman. But I know that this is a psyop. And really, I'm going to tell you why they did this. The main reason why they did that is because when you want to search something on a search engine, it's the front page is usually, especially Google, is in chronological order, right? So Google is going to show you the most recent news results. So if I were to type in Rudy Giuliani today, the first thing that's going to pop up is Rudy Giuliani Borat. If the Borat story doesn't hit and I type in Rudy Giuliani, you get Hunter Biden, underage girls' pictures on a laptop and all of that, right? That's the results that will come up. So really what they're trying to do is cover his tracks on the search engine.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
First and foremost, if you are a predominant person in anything, I'm not very predominant in anything. People don't know me outside in the world unless they're a crypto person. I'm not bringing my stuff to a computer person to fix. I'm not bringing it to a Best Buy to fix. I am calling.
But you ain't on crack.
I'm calling a hacker, one of my hacker friends. I'm going to have them help me. There's some people that I trust. I'm calling my stepson.
Right.
Even if I was on crack, I would probably be paranoid to drop my laptop, even though there was nothing on there. I would be paranoid because when you're on crack, when you're on meth, you're paranoid. When you're on drugs, you're not in your right mind. You feel like everybody's out to get you, especially if your freaking dad's running for president. Who in their mind thinks that that's okay to, like, the whole thing is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't take it to a repair shop. I bought my computer from kdrepair.com. If anybody wants to know the specifications on my streaming machine that we're streaming from right now, high powered gaming machine, similar to the specs on AOC's gaming machine. I think we actually have the same graphics card and maybe the same computer chip. But those links are in the description box below if you guys want to see how my computer is built. But yeah, I'd go to kdrepair.com. But the other thing with me is just like, people be downloading porn on their computer. They be downloading like girls' pictures on their computer. I'm like that's what y'all use your computer for? Right? Like, you could check my computer. There's none of that shit on there. It's just like, I don't have enough hard drive space to be, like, even my new computer I just got, like, I got plenty of hard drive space on there, and it's just like the only thing I'm gonna do with this thing is stream. And it's just like y'all don't know Pornhub.com exists, and shit. If you want to look at underage girls, they got them on Pornhub. God damn it, like those fucking scumbags.
People do weird shit. I have another friend. He's a really good crypto friend. He's been my friend since I got in the space. He actually used to work for an agency, and he would have to review different weird things that would come online, because what they would do is they would remove it from online. There was a lot of weird sexual shit, and he's like very desensitized as having like whatever. But I it's very hard for me to understand like some of these people's OPSEC. Like, just for example, when I have two different towers. One tower is just like for my regular streaming stuff. Another tower is for my crypto wallets. I have a separate laptop I use for trading. And then I've got another laptop that I do like other like my travel laptop. So I've got multiple different devices for different things. And the reason why I do that is because it minimizes my risk. And one of my laptop for crypto trading is not under anything.
Yeah.
That is not under any names. Like, you can't trace it back to me. Okay. And that's just because, and it's not because I'm hiding anything. It's just because I value my privacy.
Yeah.
So the fact that this person got caught so easy, it's kind of weird to me. And that people let themselves get caught when you get the spouse that's cheating and doing all that weird shit. It's like, how do you let yourself get caught? Like, you stupid? Like,
sloppy. That's just real sloppy, and careless. Which speaks to the fact that, that type of individual is the type to be doing that creepy, weird shit. Did you hear about people like trafficking girls and then uploading the videos to Pornhub?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Pornhub's like been a cesspool of that type of content. Somebody said you shouldn't be. He said, in fact, porn is bad for the brain. Yeah, if you get the unbreakable rules of masculinity. I talk about that, and how like dudes shouldn't be, wanging off all the time. There's a certain algorithm that there's a certain time period where a man can release and still have his T levels correct and all of that. And you definitely can't retain for too long. And there's not too many benefits from retaining too long, but there is a certain period of time where you should retain. But, when you're Hunter Biden and your dad has all this power and you guys are like millionaires and you took money from the Ukraine, it's just like, bro, you can't get a girl like of your own age, like Hotep Jesus. Let me just tell you, like, I would say once every 90 days, a chick pops up in my DMs and sends me nudes, like, or makes a pass at me. Right. So I'm like, I'm nobody. Like Hunter Biden, you can't get chicks. I got chicks offering me the punani, and you're over here like doing weird shit. So I'm just like what's like? There's something wrong there. There's something seriously wrong with that individual. And like I said before, I said in last week, like I don't even approach women. I don't have to approach women. I think it's because I look good. It's like, nah. No, I think a lot of women say it's just your brain. I'm attracted. Brain I'm attracted to, whatever it is. But I think that to get girls is just being a good man, right? And living in your masculinity, living in your healthy masculinity. No matter how you look, if you're confident and you're living, because I know, like, I've seen ugly fat dudes pull hot chicks because they're funny, confident, smell good, dress nice, they take care of themselves, right? So it's to say, it's not hard to get a girl because it's slim pickings out here for men. Let's just be honest. Got Hunter Biden types running around the goddamn world. Like, who wants that scumbag? It's just weird that these guys got all this money and the first thing they want to do is like mess with underage girls. It's just, I can't.
I think it is a mental illness. I think what it is that you have so much, when you're handed things in life, your whole entire life, and you're not taught about struggle, or you're not, or mommy and daddy tell you, no, you can't get this toy, and you're constantly given stuff and you're constantly given trophies. I think that's where the problem stems, is because you're so used to getting, and maybe he has women being thrown at him and he's tired of it. So what he's doing is he's doing illegal and illicit things to get his rocks off, because he knows he can get those other women, but it's not good enough because it's not dangerous or it's not illegal. And maybe he's also doing it as a rebellion. And I'm not saying, I'm not co-signing his bullshit. Right. I'm just trying to understand it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And for him to go do this with young girls, or just to be a disgusting individual, it's an attack on his dad, saying, F you.
Interesting. definitely plausible. A rebellious kid mad at dad. Let me read some super chats real fast to catch up on those. Halima said, have you seen her mom? She is fit. It appears like a biz deal to dance for Bitcoin. Which is what the song says. Thank you. Natasha Kayleen said, keep being you, Wendy Boo. I learned today diversity is the path to riches. Heart. Ken Theroux, what up, homie? He said, they are masters at search engine clogging. Yeah, they are. And, you know, Ken, he's in my Saturday class, the Mogul Summit. And, you know, we talk SEO and search engine ranking and all of that. So he's familiar. I'm familiar with how this stuff works. And so when I see them pulling these tricks, I'm like, oh, I see what you guys are up to.
It's just it's a very interesting thing. And talking about on brand for 2020, I'm noticing a large group of women talking about feminism.
Yeah.
And it's becoming to the point where they're using it not because they give a fuck about feminism, right, not because they understand the struggle. Because you want to talk about feminism, we can talk about my great aunt who's first generation American. Her parents came from Sicily. They had her here into the United States, very, very poor. Her mother died at when she was like 6 or 7, was treated terribly by her either her father's sisters or her mother's sisters. What they used to do to my grandma and my great aunt on Christmas, they would give them gifts, let them open gifts. And then after they opened the gifts, they would take them back and give them to their family members so they wouldn't get shit for Christmas. They lived in a very, very poor 1-bedroom in the Bowery. My grandpa worked for the railroad. He was a drunk. And my aunt, instead of saying, okay, well, you know, this is typical for me to go look for a husband and go get married. Instead of doing that, this was like 1930s, 1920s. She went and she swept floors at the bank and worked her way up, and was then, after she swept floors, she became a teller, and then she slowly worked her way up, became very successful. And actually trained a lot of the male CEOs on Wall Street. She worked for Chemical Bank. And if anybody wants to call bullshit on that, I've got a Tiffany's watch that she was given after her time of service when they asked her to retire and gave her a pension. They don't give you Chemical Bank's not going to give you a Tiffany's watch for sweeping floors. So you want to talk about feminism? That's the way to be a feminist, is to live life on your terms and not to feel sorry for yourself because you're a woman. Just get out there and do something. So, but we're seeing a lot of stuff regarding feminists, and a lot of girls I'm noticing, they coming out and they're like, feminist this, feminist that. And I don't think they know what the fuck it means. But my girl, Tiara Talk, she's on Twitter, and she posts, her content is just absolutely amazing. I want to read this tweet that she posted, because I think it's outstanding. Where I have to find it, I'm having trouble.
I did a stream with Catherine Kingsbury last night, and the topic was feminism and radical feminism.
I want to hear about that, but let me tell you her tweet. Her tweet said, feminists only support other women who have an OnlyFans, drug problem, and daddy issues. Hashtag I said what I said.
We touched on that. That is true. There is something going on there. There's a psychological issue, and there is somewhere along the line, they had a bad relationship with men, whether usually it's the dad. Usually it's a bad relationship with their dad, or a boyfriend, husband. Something went wrong somewhere with men, and now they have this animosity that they have to take out on all men. She nailed that. That's very accurate. I think if we were to psychoanalyze feminists, we would find that a large portion of them, the majority of them, have been abused. And that's why, I used to go really hard at feminists. And then one day I sat down and I asked myself, I said, self, why are they acting like this? I didn't say it like that, obviously.
Yes, you did. Don't lie.
Hotep Jesus, why are they acting like this? But I asked, I was like, yo, why are they? And I sat there and I thought, and I'm like, probably hurt. And then I'm like, and I think same goes for socialists. These are people that are emotionally hurt. And then when I realized that, I said, we probably shouldn't attack them then, because you're just going to make the situation worse. And what these people really need is they need love and they need therapy. And they don't need people attacking them online, because it's just going to you're just basically adding fuel to the fire. So I've since backed off of criticizing feminists. If I do it, it's from a very historical perspective, or I'll attack the ideology, but I'll never directly attack a single feminist, because there was so much hurt there. And really what I want to provide is a shoulder to lean on and an ear to talk to, without critique, without judgment, because I feel if we heal them therapeutically, the feminism will wait.
So this is the thing. I get having a conversation with somebody. I get trying to educate them. I get being understanding and being receptive to their issues and what they're going on. But at the same time, a lot of times these feminists, they're very toxic. They're very abusive.
Yeah.
They want you to co-sign their bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't co-sign people's bullshit. And the reason why I don't co-sign people's bullshit is because I have had a fucking hard life. I've had a very, very hard life. I've got daddy issues. I had drug issues. I've had terrible things that have happened to me. I've had terrible things that have happened to other women I know, to women I'm very close with. I've had all kinds of struggles and strifes that I've gone on in my life. So I'm not going to co-sign your bullshit for you when I've got my own stuff coming on and you're trying to verbally abuse me. It is not going to happen.
Yeah, I can totally understand that, because you had, like you said, you had your own issues. So female to female, I think we need people like you to talk back to them and speak back to them, right? I think that's important for you to say.
Tap me in, because I've had it. I'm done with it, because I'm seeing this stuff and I'm like, this is detrimental to our children. Like my daughter, like people give me shit. They're like, oh, Wendy, you're so conservative and because I don't post, I don't have my tits out, or my legs aren't open. It's like, I'm over 30 years old. I have a little girl. She's going to Google mommy and she's going to see mommy with her nipples showing or with whatever body part showing. I can take a sexy selfie and not have to show my body.
Yeah.
And get attention for it by just being who I am. And I want her to know that, because it's detrimental to her. I don't have any issues with women doing OnlyFans, or if they want to do porn or they want to dance. I've got friends that do that stuff, and that's fine, but I don't have to do it. And I don't have to be like, okay, this is great, fantastic, because a lot of women don't understand once you stop doing that stuff, you have to deal with the demons that are inside of you. And you have to realize who hurt me that made me want to act out and lash out like this. It's not artwork. It is not it's not you being free. You're damaging yourself. You're letting other people degrade you. Your body is a temple. Your body is something sacred, and it should be, of course, if you want to give it to whoever you want to give it to, that's fine. But it should be somebody that you have an emotional connection with. And that's why there's STDs. That's why there's this type of stuff, is because it is not the human body, regardless if you're a man or woman, it is not meant to have, you're not meant to have like 50 different partners, 100 different partners. It's just not. And the stuff that goes on psychologically after you do that, because I went through that phase when I was young, because I was very damaged. You have to deal with that. You have to come to terms with what you did to yourself, or who you lit inside. And you have to come to terms with it. And it's not pretty for a lot of people. A lot of women can't deal with it, and they think they can't. Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Are you familiar with Malu, the singer, or Malu? I don't know how to say her name. Are you familiar with her?
No.
Okay. So there's this young singer, I don't know her name, Malu, or how do you pronounce her name? But she just turned 18 apparently. And I think maybe a day after she turned 18, she took to her Instagram and asked, should I open up an OnlyFans account? What do you think about like that? Young girls, daddy turned 18. Because obviously the seed was planted. Obviously she's probably been thinking about this. Like, I turn 18 soon. I turn 18. And when I turn 18, I'm going to get an OnlyFans account. What do you think about that?
There's a lot of it's a pretty in-depth thing. It depends, because I heard that you can start an OnlyFans and you can put feet pictures up there. You can cook, you could post recipes, you can do all kinds of different stuff. And if it's not weird, like this is the thing, like if you want to post feet pictures, I don't think I don't think that's going to be I don't think that's going to be a detrimental thing to you mentally, because it's not really it, even though it is a sexual thing for the other person.
I think she's going to be posting like sexual content.
Okay, so if we're talking about sexual, because I even thought about it. I was like, should I start an OnlyFans? But should I just be like cussing people out and calling dudes beta cucks? Because really, if you think about it, I could probably make some good money being like, you're disgusting and you're da, and not have to do anything sexual or not have to show my body. So that was a thought. I'm not going to lie about that. Not going to lie, because I think
an interesting business model.
It would be fun. It would be funny. I would just laugh, because
you should just, I think you can get a big bag by just trolling the internet, right? All you have to do is like say, guys, I'm opening up an OnlyFans account, and don't tell them what you're about to post, right? And then so when people sign up, they're gonna be thinking like, first of all, you don't even respond to the comments, right? Because everybody's gonna assume Wendy O is about to pop it open. She's about to bust it open. That's what everybody's gonna assume. So you can completely troll and make a huge killing just off the trolling and just create content where you cuss people out. I would totally be here.
Oh my God. You know, that will, if Bitcoin goes to zero, I will consider that. Right now I'm doing okay though. Okay. So you're an 18-year-old girl wants to post nude pictures of her. So when I was young,
fresh 18-year-old.
Fresh 18-year-old. Okay. When I was young, we had MySpace, and my friend convinced me to get a MySpace because I just didn't care. I was like, okay, fine, I'll get a MySpace. I was 18 and a half. So, but when I was 18, I wanted to be rebellious. I got into a lot more trouble. I was already partying prior to that. I used to wear skimpy clothes because I was part of the rock and roll culture. I was like a punk rocker stuff. Okay, fine, whatever. But I wasn't posting images of myself online for the whole world to see, because you can't delete that. That's there. It's there. I think that she's doing it because it's a rebellious thing against her parents. It's a cry for attention, which I sometimes I want attention too. All women, we love attention. It is what it is. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just because I like attention doesn't mean that I'm like a hooker or any of that type of stuff. It just means I'm a woman. We're needy. We're emotional creatures. It is what it is. But I also do think that because society is so like, oh my God, OnlyFans is great. It's amazing. It's a great way to earn money. I don't think she quite understands. I think she's going along with the herd, but I don't think she understands how severe it is, because after you grow up and after you mature, because you hear stories of women that were porn stars. For example, Jenna Jameson. I want to say that she was a porn star. She did lots of different stuff. It did come out later that she was groomed, which that happens a lot. Very, very common thing. And now that she's like quit doing that. She's changed her life around. She's a mother. She's helping to fight trafficking. Your life changes, but Jenna Jameson can never go back and remove all her porn, remove her naked body from the internet. Would she want to do that? I don't know. I don't know her personally, but I would imagine me as a mother, if there was a naked picture of me online, I would want, that I took at 18, and now as a mother, I would want it removed, because I wouldn't want my baby to see that. And that's not the person who I am. So I don't think that today's society, we're not fully adults till we're like 25. And this goes for both men and women. So making a choice like that to where it's forever engraved on the internet, I don't think that 18-year-olds are really mature enough to do it. And I think that she might have some emotional issues. A lot of people don't talk about the emotional issues associated with doing porn or stripping or being sexually promiscuous, but there are issues that come up with it a lot. And you're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of money correcting those issues later on in life.
Yeah. Some real psychological issues, ramifications can come from that. Back in my day, you had to go through a lot to get a picture. I remember having disposable cameras. You had to get the disposable camera, right? You took a picture, then you hoped it came out good. You took it to the place, then you had to wait 3 days for them to process the film. And then you went and picked up your pictures. Then after you picked up your pictures, you had to scan them. into the computer, and hopefully you had a high quality scanner. Otherwise, your stuff came out grainy. But even if you put it in the scanner, it's still coming out grainy because the technology just wasn't there back. Mm-hmm. And then later on, they were like, "Oh, okay, we'll put these on CD for you." So then you had your stuff, your pictures put on CD. Then you had to take the CD, pop it in your computer, and then upload to the internet. I remember talking to this girl who went to, I believe, Howard University, and she mailed me pictures, like physical pictures. She mailed them to me. Could you imagine? Like today, you like just text and it's there in seconds. She mailed me in an envelope a little love letter with a couple of like, and they weren't like nudes or anything like that. It was just like, her hanging out at a party, stuff like that, but physical pictures. I was like, it's so. I think the barrier to entry is so low that it kind of makes it easy or too easy for people to share images, and you don't have enough time to think about what you're doing. When you gotta wait 72 hours before you put something on the internet, you got some time to think about what you're doing.
You're right. It's the instant gratification that our society thrives on because it is a societal norm. We see, monkey do. If I see you do something cool, okay, and you're making money? Oh, I want to do this. This looks really cool. I can make money. I don't have to have a 9 to 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show my asshole or whatever the hell it is. Cause that is what it is, that people have their friends doing it. And another thing that I'm noticing is the parents are co-signing on the BS. Could you imagine if your child comes to you and it's like, Dad, Mom, I want to do this. I'm excited to do this. It's like, really? If my stepsons came to me and they go, I decided I'm going to do porn. Again, they're going to have no teeth. That is what's going to happen. Okay. It's just, obviously I would be upset, but I would really talk to them about it and explain it to them. But can you imagine as a parent co-signing that? Because some parents will co-sign it and think it's okay.
Yes. I know there's this girl, LA Love the Boss, and she's of age, but like she does some like weird stuff for attention on the internet. Like she pulls her shorts like all the way up to like you can see like camel toe, and her manager's her mom, and I'm just like, your mom co-signs this shit? It's kind of weird, but whatever, to each his own. Shout out to her and whatever she does. But some of her content, I'm just like, it looks kind of like sleazy. You can be sexy and classy. You know what I mean? It's just like, ugh. But I had a talk with my daughter the other day, about 2 weeks ago, and we were just talking about like college and options after college. And I'm like, look, I don't care what you do with your life. You can do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, just don't do an OnlyFans. And she laughed. She was like, she just laughed, like, cause she knows about the culture and stuff like that. But she laughed and gave me the look like, Dad, damn well I ain't doing that shit, But yeah, man, it's just crazy.
And also too, what these kids don't understand is that, yes, we are in a pandemic right now. The economy of the world is changing. I get people wanting to hustle to make extra money. I know girls that they sell panties, they sell socks, whatever. If you're of age and you want to do that, that's fine, because that's not really hurting you. I don't think doing that is kind of weird, but if you want to make money and, the economy is hard, go do it. But right. What a lot of people don't understand is if you can get this stuff traced back to you that you're doing, and let's say you're 25, you're selling foot pictures online, you're like, this is cool. But then you have a spiritual awakening. You're like, you know what? I want to go to Harvard. I want to become a doctor. And you're very smart. You did well in college, whatever. Harvard and all these schools, they're going to, and I'm not saying that I advocate for higher education and those types of facilities because, whatever. But if you want to become a doctor or lawyer, that's what you got to do for now. But they're going to do background checks and they're going to check you. Could you imagine not being able to get into school because you made some dumbass choice?
Yeah. I was thinking about selling my girl's feet pics. I'm like, yo, dudes is in the feet, man, babe. Take your socks off. Now I'll be your photographer. If you into this goofy shit, fuck it. If we can get paid off of feet pics, only problem is she had an operation on her feet. She has a scar on her toe, so I don't know. But if dudes are into scars on toes, hey, I got some pictures, man. I can get some pictures to you.
Maybe, but that's not the same as taking.
Your clothes off, yeah.
taking provocative pictures of, you know, your spouse or your partner and posting it for the world to see. I see some people doing that. I had a friend, he was a rapper. This is a long time ago, but he used to post pictures of him like slapping his girl's ass, like doing all types of stuff online. I'm like, I get it because it's part of the culture, but at the same time, like that's your woman and other people are seeing your woman's ass. And it's like,
yeah, you know, I think that like it doesn't agree with my lifestyle, right? It doesn't agree with your lifestyle. But I think some people view the human body differently.
That's true.
And it just doesn't bother them, right? So I kind of give them a pass. Like, if, you know, some couples are just like wide open and free with it, you know, and, you know, some of these porn star chicks got husbands and boyfriends, right? And, you know, he's in the film with her, and they like, I think that some people are just into like that Caligula lifestyle. You ever seen Caligula?
The movie?
Yeah.
Isn't that a Greek somebody?
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I studied my Greek mythology. My aunt's very into that.
Yeah, Caligula was just into like group sex and like weird sex acts and stuff like that.
The thing is, I get it to a certain extent, but it's like when it comes to like when we're talking about a girl that's under 25, that's when I get a little bit concerned, because I remember when I was that young, I was very impressionable. I was very like, I wanted to fit in with people. I wanted to be accepted. I had very low self-esteem. And I remember the first time I was in Hollywood, I was 18. I remember the first time it was a bouncer that I felt very safe with. He gave me his card and he was like, do you want to come and do some soft porn at my house? And I was like, it kind of took me back a bit because I used to see him every night at this, or every Monday night or Wednesday night at the same club. And then the fact that he did that, it just was kind of like, really? I thought you were my friend, you know? So he had other intentions to me. I was still very nice with him because I wanted to get in the club, but I never went back to his house to do that type of stuff. But I feel that people, they tend to take advantage of younger girls, and it's part of society. Society thinks it's okay. And the worst part about it is we know that that's wrong, but there's a lot of people that aren't strong enough to stand up, and they just keep co-signing the bullshit. And that's why all this shit keeps happening, is because nobody is, if you want to stop trafficking, you want to really put a stop and like minimize rape and any of that type of stuff with both men and women, you have to really just cut all of this stuff out, cut the Pornhub out, cut the, okay, well, this guy could have done something, or your homie drugged somebody, your homie did and co-signing of her, or your girl was a stripper, like you gotta just cut this stuff off and speak out and be like, this isn't right, this isn't good. Because the moment that a group of people start to say this is wrong, more people will follow suit. But right now it's on brand for 2020 to be expressive and to express yourself. You don't have to express yourself in that way if you're under 25, just my opinion.
Nah, totally true. Yeah, I think people need to wait till their frontal cortex develops fully before they start making lifelong decisions.
That's true. I agree. So I don't know. That's pretty much all I got tonight. I had a vent about that because I was mad. I was mad since last week because I just felt like I was just mad. I was like, I was kind of pissed about the reaction that I got when I was just kind of speaking my mind and speaking my concern. And I normally don't butt into other people's business, but when it's something like that, because I've experienced weird stuff like that, that becomes personal to me because I was that young girl and I had people want to do weird stuff with me. And I put myself in some dumbass situations in Hollywood when I was young. And if I could, I don't have regrets, but I wish I would have maybe made different decisions then.
Yeah. Hollywood's a weird place, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird place. Well, great show tonight. I'll see you next week.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do you have anything you want to announce besides the Thaddeus Russell thing? What do you and Uncle Hotep got going on?
Tomorrow night is the presidential debate. Uncle Hotep and I will be starting. Hotep's been told you a half hour early. The debate starts at 9 p.m. The show starts at 7:30. We're going to cover current events, and then we're going to go directly into covering the presidential debate live right here on my channel for the first time. We'll be covering the presidential debate. So I'm very excited. It's going to be great.
The show is free, you guys. It is completely free. You don't have to pay for pay-per-view. It's not cable. It is free, okay?
Yeah, we'll be pulling a stream in probably from C-SPAN so we don't get flagged. But yeah, it's going to be a cracking up good time.
All right. Well, you guys, please make sure to like this video. Go ahead and share it and support the Hoteps, all that good stuff. And I will see you next Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. ET.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Peace.